Welcome to the Blitz. I am Pat Moroney.
And I'm John Benson. Can you believe it's already week 10?
It's crazy. It's crazy. Time flies when you're having fun,
Absolutely.
I guess.
Absolutely.
We'll start with the Lee County Trojans, who had their undefeated party crashed last week by Thomas County Central. They were back at home tonight against Harris County. Trojans head coach Dean Fabrizio always looking fresh in that headset. Scoreless game. Lee County threatening it on fourth down. Stephen Collier breaks a tackle to keep the drive alive. And then Collier back to pass. Throws to J.Q. Quimbley out of the backfield. He uses the stiff arm to good effect there and squeezes into the end zone. Puts Lee up 7-0. And then Harris County tries to respond with a handoff to Isaiah Chapman. And he breaks a tackle and bursts down that sideline for a big gain. And then Harris County run the read option play like most NFL and college teams. Taquan Marshall keeps it for another first down. That'll move the chain gang. Then on third down, Marshall throws to his wideout. That would be short of the first down, so it's decision time. They decide to go for it on fourth, but the slot receiver jumps a little early. That's a false start. Harris County forced to try a field goal. Lee County gets some pushback and blocks the attempt. That makes it Trojan football when they recover. 7-0 at halftime, but the final score was 44-7. Now over to Americus, Sumter, and Carroll. The Syrup Makers looking to stay in that win column. Opening kickoff here returned for a long run by wide receiver Michael Russell. Gets a couple blocks, trying to get to the end zone. Eventually a Carroll player would try to bring him down, breaks another tackle, cuts back, and eventually is brought down by several Syrup Makers. Big play there for the Panthers right out of the gate. Then second and inches, running back Wesley Fields brings it in for the touchdown. That would make it 7-0 Americus, but after that it was all Carroll. Here's the ball. QB Stacy Masson hands it to Reese Wooten, running to the right, tackled by Jawan High. And then second and 8, Masson hands the ball to Jeremiah Hill, and he runs it 20 yards for the touchdown, making it 7-7 in the first. And Carroll would roll 35-7.
And now we go to the Region 1 Quad A for a huge matchup that both schools are at a must-needed win, respectively. Felton Williams and the Albany Indians hit the road to face off against Jason Tones and his Worth County Rams. But more importantly, tied in the region with a 1-3 overall record. So, like I said, a must-need win for the region. Both programs sitting at 2-5 overall. And we move quickly. It's homecoming night for the Worth County Rams. Second play of the game with a huge interception by Willie Davis. Albany Indians trying to get something going. After that, Malik Dungy on the 4th and 6 tries to get away, but it would actually be taken down by Brian Manuel. Man, that Rams defense. And on the turnover here for the close first down, it actually bring up to a 4th and 1 on this play. Big down. That's Don Buford who gets the handoff for the first down to keep the drive alive. Next play, about 20 yards out, that's Zatavius Anderson who finds his way, weaving in his way through the Indians defense and to the end zone for 6. And Worth County getting a huge win over the Rams in this one, 19-0. And staying in the region with this one, Chris making the trip to face Charles Stafford and his Tornadoes. And with moving to the third quarter with the Boffled punt there, the Tornadoes have great field position on the big turnover. Charles Stafford out of the shotgun, hands it to Devontae Stevens, who would get the first down and more. But look at this, a flag on the play because of a holding call. That would be later called back, and Charles Stafford going to work. This is the Charles Stafford highlight reel right here for the first down. No problem for him, and that by Emmanuel Davis. And then next play, he'll take it with his own feet to the end zone for 6. Not a problem for him. And then within 12-14 of crisp, Tornadoes go for 2, but unfortunately it would fall short. And in this one, the Monroe Tornadoes actually play catch up and run away or get by 3 points, 24-21. And taking a look at our team of the week from last week's outstanding performance, we take a look at Thomas County Central, who had a huge win over the undefeated Lee County Trojans. Entering the matchup, everyone was excited about how both Adam Choice and Stephen Collier would play out against each other. But in the end, it came down to that defense, and Collier was shut down, which is something we haven't seen all year. And the Jackets giving the Trojans their first loss of the season while making a big statement. Racking up 45 points to that Trojans defense, 45-14 the Trojans would fall. So congratulations to CCC for being our team of the week. Coming up next on the Blitz, we'll have more highlights along. We go live with Doug Reardon for the game of the week, so stay with us after the break.
Welcome back to the Blitz. If you're looking for the reason for Thomas County Central's 7-1 record, look no further than their devastating ground game. Quarterback Adam Choice has amazingly already rushed for 1,236 yards, and tailback DeAndre Cooksey has scampered for a cool 876. That's what Hardaway was up against tonight at Thomas County Central. The cheerleaders that getting excited on homecoming night in Thomasville. We'll start in the first quarter. Quarterback Adam Choice hands the ball to DeAndre Cooksey, who was able to get the short first down, and then Choice relying on Cooksey again, and he comes through for 6. Extra point no good, 13-0 TCC. And now some defense as it takes a host of Hornets to bring down Hardaway's Darius Blackman. TCC gets the ball back. DeAndre Cooksey makes a short run, picking up only a yard. And then on the next play, quarterback Adam Choice, the future Clemson Tiger, with running back Primus McLean this time. McLean runs it 36 yards for the touchdown, gets some good blocking, shows off that speed. The final there, 47-0 Thomas County Central. Now time for our landmark auto game of the week. Senior night in Moultrie for Colquitt County and Valdosta. Valdosta needs a win. They've had a couple losses in a row in the region. Colquitt gets on the board first with a chip shot field goal. That makes it 3-0 Packers. But both Colquitt and Valdosta struggled early offensively. That is a sack right there. And then same drive, another sack by Thomas County Central, wrestling down by a host of Packers there. And then just under 2 minutes left in the first, Valdosta ties it up with a field goal. And then just after a close call for Colquitt, QB Daniel Mobley throws to wide receiver Todd Boyd, but that pass was ruled incomplete. We go into the second quarter, still knotted up at 3-3. And then with 10:30 left in the second quarter, they attempt a fake field goal. Rush Probst tries a little trickeration, but it is snuffed out by Valdosta, so that backfired. Valdosta takes over that drive. That would lead to a touchdown. Seth Schumann to Khalil McLean. So Valdosta goes up 10-3, but the final 17-10 Colquitt County, they hold on to win.
And continuing with some more action, we actually jumped down to some AA play with both teams, schools seeking their first region win of the season. And what better way to do that than to play in a late season region game? First-year head coach Ed Pilcher and his Berrien Rebels hosting Frankie Carroll and his Hornets. Both started out 3-0, but as of late, having a little bit of a struggle with a 4-game losing streak. And we jump quickly to the third quarter. And that's Desmond Parker who gets the handoff and goes for a huge first down and more as he cuts up the field. No one would catch him, and before being forced out of bounds from him. And next play on Christian Drake goes in for the touchdown, and they would actually try to get the 2-point conversion down 27-20, and that would be no good. Parker, who runs it up the middle to get Pelham into scoring position before finally being taken down. And Parker, once again, for Pelham, would actually get into the end zone, this time within 27-26 for the Rebels. And that's Clarence Allman hits Trevante White for the two-point conversion to put them up by 1 point. And Pelham would actually win this game 40-27, but unfortunately, towards the end of this game, a woman in the stands had to leave the game due to a medical emergency, and we'll keep you posted up to date on that if you go to our website, mysouthwestga.com. And now it's time for the player of the week, and we head to John Lindsay's Irwin County. And the team is having a fantastic year, and it helps when you have a guy like this, Ryan Peterson. This guy was an absolute stud out on the field. The wide receiver racked up 118 yards and 5 carries and had 3 catches for 110 yards. Oh, and not to mention finding the end zone 3 different times. With the help of Peterson, he put his Irwin County team back on track with a 61-13 win over Lanier County. So congratulations to Ryan Peterson for being selected our Player of the Week. Coming up next on The Blitz, we take an inside look at a website that helps high school coaches watch film and gather information about who they're playing next. All this and more next on The Blitz.
Welcome back to the Blitz. Obviously, football is played on the field, but much of the sport starts and ends in the film room for coaches, players, and recruiters. And in 2013, a new program is changing how teams do business. For years, football teams at all levels have watched tapes of games and practices. But now, in the new age of technology, there's a new video resource, and it's sweeping the sport everywhere, including here in Georgia.
To be honest, it's really almost revolutionary. I mean, just compared to what just 4 or 5 years ago, what you were having to do compared to now, and compared to 10 or 15 years ago, there's just no comparison.
The program is called Huddle, and it's an online video service with endless possibilities for coaches.
Anything that we film goes into that system, and it's just made things so much easier, and really we can use our time so much more efficiently by doing this.
Video from practices and games can be sorted into categories like formation or play type in a way that makes it easier to break down to players.
And the great thing about it is the players can access this film at home or really from any computer that they can get to. So it gives the players access to watch the film on their own as well.
Since it's a program employed by colleges, it's made a dent in the recruiting world too.
If a college calls me and is interested in the player, instead of us having to send them a film like the old days and them having to wait for the film to get there, right now they can just type in the code and they can access our player and watch his film.
In terms of efficiency and accessibility, Huddle is changing the game.
It's really saved the coaches a lot of time, and something like I said, it's really revolutionary what this system has done for high school sports in general and high school football in particular.
There's a lot of outstanding and exciting players in Southwest Georgia, and no question one of the best is future Georgia Bulldog Malcolm Parrish. Parrish and the rest of the 7-1 Brooks County Trojans were in Cook County tonight to face the Hornets. Couple of good programs in Adele. As you see Cook running out onto the field, they need a win badly, but Brooks County, never an easy opponent. Early on, Connor Hilliard can't escape Michael Reynolds, and he throws him to the ground. And then Devon Williams, clean your cleats and go is the phrase there. He eventually is brought down after the long run, and then Parrish, read option, he keeps it, fights his way into the end zone for 6 counts for 6 points for Brooks County. And then the 2-point conversion was no good. Actually, that was near the end zone. Then he punched it in, and then scrambling again, he finds Xavier Medlock here with the long pass in just a second here, scrambling. Oh, good gravy. They cannot get him down. Rolls right, finds Xavier Medlock. Eventually, he is brought down, and then they give it to Derek Herring, and he's headed towards the pylon. The refs, they talk about it. They call it a TD, extra point, no good. But that would be the end of the first quarter, and Brooks wins 38-10.
And now continuing with some more region matchups as the season starts to close and we start approaching the playoffs. And one of the teams that has had a great season thus far might have been a surprise to some, but Mitchell County hitting the road to face off against the Calhoun County Cougars. Mitchell County Eagles are on a hot 4-game win streak as they enter the Calhoun County, who look to crash the party. And early on, Mitchell County quarterback Bruce Bryant is tackled by the Cougar defense there for a loss on the play. And then later on, Calhoun County and Williams, the quarterback, throws in for Hammond for the first down. And Mitchell trying to respond, keeps the ball, and he runs the ball just right up the field to the 5-yard line for the first down. Calhoun would actually fumble on this play, leading to a turnover after downs here. and he would actually get into the end zone after this one. And then on the sweep play to the outside, trying to get something happen, that would be a loss of downs and a turnover for them for the scoop and score. And Mitchell County would have no problem in this one as they would roll past Calhoun County 20-2. And check it out, our play of the week. We go back to Worth County and the Albany Indians game. And Worth County with the little trick or treat play here with the trickery, with the reverse, 20 yards out for 6 points with no problem for Jontavius Anderson for the trick. Now for the treat, that'd be 6 points for them, giving them the lead early in the first quarter. No problem for them. So congratulations for our play of the week, Jontavius Anderson, who actually that would help them win over the Albany Indians. And coming up next on the Blitz, we get a little chance to hear the sights and sounds under the big Friday night lights with our Darton correspondents, along with some more highlights. So stay with us after the break.
Hey, Derek, I forgot to write an on-cam for the preview game of the week, so if you want, you can still come back to me and I can say something, then we can go to it, or we can wipe straight from John's highlight to that, whatever you prefer.
I've got a, it's up to you.
Yeah, bring me on cam, I'll say something, then we'll go to it. I'll say more good options this week or something.
I've got, And welcome back to the Blitz. And all season we've seen some great stuff from Darton State College, who actually go out to the game and bring you the sights and sounds. And now, with the weather cooling down, let's check out to see what they have for us tonight.
It's a cold but great night here tonight at Hugh Mills Stadium, where the Monroe Tornadoes are taking on the Crisp County Cougars. Here's some sights and sound for tonight's game. Tonight is senior night for Monroe High School. The Tornadoes took a moment before the game to say a special thank you to their parents. Then it was back to business, just like any other game night.
Go, baby. Game time, baby.
1, 2, 3, 4.
This is Jeremy Hayes from Hugh Mills. Now back to the studio.
Good stuff as always, but it was definitely cold. I actually went to that game a little later for the second half, and man, Hugh Mills.
I'm from Arizona. I was freezing. I was freezing.
I bet. Well, actually, we got some more highlights to do for you, so let's get to it. And we cannot forget about the GISA with Sherwood Christian Academy hitting the road to face off against Carroll Academy for senior night. And on third down, Dalton Todd is back to pass, throws it to Sherwood's Kenny Brown. Drops for the interception there, and Chris Thomas throws a little bubble screen to Chazzy Griffin for the first down and more. And then back to Griffin. This time, he would actually take action on the ground, and he gets outside and cuts it upfield to get the chains moving and keep that drive alive. And they would actually have to punt to Carroll Academy, though. And then Riley Carlson picks up off the bounce, weaves in and out and back outside for the Eagles touchdown on the special teams TD and the punt return. And Sherwood trying to get something going, hands it off to DeConte Robinson for the ball and punched out. Sherwood would actually recover it though, so they would actually escape that one. But unfortunately for the overall game here, Carroll Academy would actually win 35-21. Well,
it'll be tough to top this week with Colquitt County and Valdosta, but like every week, Week 11 is next week, and there are plenty more good options.
Absolutely.
We'll start with Valdosta. That same Valdosta team, actually, that is a misprint. We will get that fixed. But there's Americus Sumter and Cairo squaring off, and then Brooks County and Cook, and also Southland Academy at Tift Area Academy. We don't forget about the GISA. And now everybody's favorite part of the week is the Fan of the Week. Tonight our Fan of the Week comes from Edison, home of the Cougars. The Calhoun County Cheerleaders and the Calhoun County Cougar rock the pink in support of Breast Cancer Awareness Month. And I got to say, I'm impressed that they stuck it out in that cold weather. So congratulations to the cheerleaders and the mascot for being our Fan of the Week. And trying something new from homecoming to senior night and all the games in between, we want to see your school spirit. This week we asked you on our Facebook and Twitter to get connected and share your night under the lights. We want to thank you for all of your submissions. Tonight Steve Carter is in Ocilla, where the Turner County Rebels took on the Irwin County Indians, and Irwin County pulls off the win under the Rebels. Be sure to show us your school spirit. Send your photos to us on Twitter at WFXL with the hashtag WatchFox31 on our Facebook page. Just a little update on the fan at the Berrien Pelham game. She had a seizure, but the word is that she is stable, so certainly she is in our thoughts and prayers.
Absolutely. It's unfortunate you see something like that, but I'm glad to see she's okay and things are moving forward.
Exactly, exactly. Thanks for watching us. Come back next week. We have more great highlights. Have a great night.